Hi there, it's a rainy December and I came up into my studio to do some painting, but realised I couldn't move for the clutter. So I thought I'd give you a quick guided tour of my studio. This is the attic, so there's the loft ladder up here. We then have my display wall, which has lights pointing straight at it so I can see in nice bright light. I've got my main work area there and a little table there for the paints, and a little drying rack down there, which is absolutely rubbish because when you put the pictures on they're not level. People ask what you need to start painting, so I thought I'd show you what I've built up over time. Okay, what do you need to do painting? Well, paint basically. I've got loads of stuff because I've been playing and hoarding. So yeah, paint. Most of the time you're going to be using lots of black, so you might want to go for cheaper blacks than the studio stuff. White. I tend to use these because they're what I can get from the local store. Be aware, different paints have different densities. There's loads of videos about paint density and viscosity. Density means your paint will sink or rise. Viscosity means it'll pour more quickly or more slowly. Cutting board, very useful for cutting. Canvases, sometimes I use canvas boards like these. If you're doing the thick pouring, they tend to warp, but I've never found that really a problem. I just either wet the back or put them in a frame and the frame holds them in place. Stretch canvases come in a variety of different sizes, shapes. Big packs, obviously cheaper. If you're doing pour painting, you get spillage. Here's some green spills. If you keep these, see those circles cut out? I made some pendants out of those. So put those between sheets of greaseproof paper. Chain pull, can you see that? It's just ball chain. You dip it in the paint, you stick it on your picture, and you pull it. Really cheap. Have a few different pieces, different lengths, and make sure you clean them after you use them, otherwise they get stiff. Always useful to have jugs with some water on it, if you want to dilute your paint or just clean stuff up. Cleaning up, you can use kitchen roll or the blue rolls. These are cheaper and easier. I don't clean my palettes very often, unfortunately. Found this little paintbrush stand, kind of handy, so you can get all your little brushes sorted out easily. Big ones just stay in a plastic plate glass. Little shot glasses, they're designed for shots obviously, but they make great pouring containers when you want to mix small amounts of paint. Getting rid of bubbles, I've got a full-size blowtorch because that's what I have in the garage. You get the cooking ones, they work just as well. PVA, buy the cheapest stuff. This is from Screwfix, I think, which is a local, like a Home Depot place. Floaterol, or Otterol in this case, it's actually quite expensive in the UK, so it's not much difference between that and the proper pouring medium. There you go, that's a Liquitex pouring medium. That 946ml was the same price as 1 litre, so pretty much price to price as the Floaterol. More plastic cups of a different size, more plastic cups of different sizes. Work out which size cup covers which size canvas, that way you don't waste so much paint. Make notes of what you do, because you will forget and make the same mistake again. Squeeze bottles. I picked these up from a catering shop. Very cheap, but it means you can pre-mix your paints, and as long as you keep the stopper on top, I hope you can hear that, totally ready, and that's probably, I don't know, a month ago I mixed them. Spray alcohol can be useful for cleaning stuff down. I do my painting on top of this glass, just because it's an old shelf off a TV stand, I think, but it means when it comes to cleaning, I can use a scraper like this, nice sharp blade, there you go, lifts it off, and there you go. That's how you can make these skins. So these, if you want, you can just pour the skin straight on the glass, leave it to dry, and scrape it back off again. If you're using that building Floaterol stuff, it's quite a good idea to sieve it. So my wife has lost a little sieve. If you're doing coasters, cheap tiles, there you go, 4-inch square tile, made in Great Britain. If you're anything like me, paint gets everywhere. Hopefully you can see this table's actually got this stuff over it. Polydeck, polythene dust sheet roll, 2 meters by 50 meters. Glue sticks, buy them in bulk rather than the little individual ones if you're going to use them. I use these sometimes to mount my pictures to boards, but I also use them in the actual artwork itself. Kitchen scale, really good for when you're mixing these paints, because you want to make sure you get the quantities right and consistent across them. You zero it and then you can add to it. So even though I've got some paint in there, I can still start from zero and add the paint on. Straws, I prefer bigger straws than this, bigger diameter, but flexi ones saves you getting your nose into the paint. Sharpies, this one has got a thick end and thin end. I think everyone loves a Posca. They're stupidly expensive for what they are, but you can get them in gold, black, white. Very useful for detailing in pictures. Stir sticks. You can either nick them from Costa, where you have the coffee stirrers. I actually prefer the wider ones. They are easy to scrape the paint around with and stir better. Crayola Jumbo craft sticks. I get bored, so I fitted mine to a drill. Decorating tape, tack tape. Notepad. Keep track of what you're planning to do, the kind of mixes and materials you use, and what it ended up looking like. Colour wheel. When you're mixing your water, I happen to use battery water for car batteries. You can put various finishes on your paint. I use this gloss varnish for most of mine. It's not particularly glossy, but it's easy to use and it's nice enough. I did try this iridescent medium, and for me it just ruined the picture, so I don't know if I did it wrong, but I didn't particularly like that. Here we have a snake, and at some point I will paint that. If you want to try stuff out, just experiment, play, and you don't want to use all expensive paint, I use this stuff. It's kids poster paint, yeah. When I was first starting out, because I didn't want to spend loads of money on my canvases, I used floor tiles. Floor tile, you paint, you look at it, you think, don't like it, scrape it off, start again. Free canvas to reuse. Don't feel you have to have gallery quality paints for everything. Here's a bit of wall art I made that no one liked. Doesn't matter. It's pennies at a junk store. Glittery paints can work really well, can look really naff. Use your judgment, you call. If you don't want your paint to go onto your table, or in this case my glass, you get these big container boxes. As you can see, the box bit here is missing because it's downstairs drying, but you know what it looks like, it's a box. The great thing is, the paint falls inside it and you can scrape it off the plastic really easy. Get yourself a nice sharp craft knife, the X-Acto knife or whatever, then ignore it and buy yourself a decent scalpel. If you're ever doing an exhibition and they want you to put your paintings onto tables, I have a stand. It's modelling glue. They use it for making model aircraft and things. It's very liquid, very thin, totally transparent, and great for repairing canvases or making the pendants and jewellery things out of your skins.